Welcome, friends. Today I want to share something deeply personal with you. After years of studying human development and speaking with countless individuals who have lived 8 decades or more, I've discovered a profound truth. Aging isn't the enemy we've been taught to fear. It's actually one of life's greatest teachers, offering wisdom that simply cannot be acquired any other way. Think about it for a moment. When you're young, you chase everything. The bigger house, the faster car, the next promotion, the perfect body. You accumulate things, experiences, connections, all while believing that somewhere in that endless pursuit lies happiness. But ask anyone who has reached their 80s what truly matters, and you'll hear something completely different. The answers are simpler, deeper, and infinitely more valuable than anything money can buy. Let me tell you what happens when people reach this remarkable age. Something shifts. It's as if a veil lifts, and suddenly all the noise and distraction of earlier years falls away. What remains is crystal clear. And the first thing that becomes blindingly obvious is this: health is everything. Not wealth, not status, not achievements. Health. I remember speaking with a woman named Margaret who had just celebrated her 82nd birthday. She was a former executive who had built a successful career and accumulated significant wealth. When I asked her what she wished she had known at 40, she didn't hesitate. "I would have treated my body like the miracle it is," she said. "I would have moved it every single day, not as punishment, but as celebration. I would have fed it nourishing food instead of whatever was convenient. I would have slept properly instead of wearing exhaustion like a badge of honor." Her words stayed with me because they reveal a universal truth. You can have all the money in the world, but if your body is failing, that money means nothing. You can't buy back mobility. You can't purchase the ability to walk without pain. You can't negotiate with your joints or bribe your heart into working properly. So, here's what I want you to understand today. Start now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Right now, begin treating your body with the respect and care it deserves. This means moving your body regularly. I'm not talking about punishing workout routines or expensive gym memberships. I'm talking about walking, stretching, dancing in your kitchen, gardening, swimming, anything that keeps your body active and engaged. The people who age most gracefully are those who have maintained consistent, gentle movement throughout their lives. Pay attention to what you eat. Real food, the kind that comes from the earth, not from a factory or a drive-through window. Vegetables, fruits, whole grains, lean proteins, healthy fats. Your body is rebuilding itself constantly, and it can only use what you give it. Feed it well, and it will serve you well for decades to come. Make sleep sacred. This is not negotiable. Your body repairs itself during sleep. Your brain processes emotions and consolidates memories during sleep. Your immune system strengthens during sleep. Treat those 7 to 8 hours as the most important appointment of your day. But here's where it gets really interesting. As people age, they realize something even more precious than health. They realize that time itself is the ultimate currency. When you're young, time feels infinite. There's always tomorrow, always next year, always later. But reach 80 and you understand with stark clarity that time is the one resource you can never get back. This realization changes everything. Suddenly those petty arguments don't seem worth having. That grudge you've been holding loses its appeal. That busy schedule filled with obligations that don't truly matter feels suffocating. People in their 80s will tell you that they stopped saying yes to things that drained them and started saying yes only to what brought joy, meaning, or connection. Let me be specific about what this means for you right now. Look at your calendar. How much of it is filled with things you genuinely want to do versus things you feel obligated to do? How many hours are you spending on social media, scrolling through other people's lives while your own precious moments slip away? How much time are you dedicating to worry, to rehashing the past, to anxieties about a future you cannot control? The elders know better. They've learned to be ruthlessly selective with their time. They've learned to say no without guilt. They've learned that being busy is not the same as living fully. They choose presence over productivity. They choose depth over breadth. They choose quality over quantity in every area of life. And this brings us to perhaps the most important insight of all. When you ask people in their 80s what they treasure most, what they would save if their house was burning down, what makes life worth living, the answer is always the same: relationships, people, connection, love. Not accomplishments, not possessions, not even experiences. The relationships they've nurtured over decades, the family they've built, the friendships they've maintained, the love they've given and received. This is what gives life meaning. This is what people remember as they reflect on 8 decades of living. I spoke with a man named Robert who told me something I'll never forget. He said, "I spent 30 years building a business. I was proud of it, obsessed with it really. But you know what I remember most clearly now? The Sunday dinners with my family, the quiet conversations with my wife, the silly games with my grandchildren. Those moments, those connections, that's what filled my life with joy. The business was just something I did. My relationships are who I am. So here's what you need to do. Stop taking the people you love for granted. Call your parents, your siblings, your old friends. Not because you need something, but because you want to connect. Put down your phone when someone is talking to you. Really listen. Be fully present. These moments are everything. And here's the hard part. Forgive. The people who have lived the longest and happiest lives will tell you that holding on to anger and resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It doesn't work. It only hurts you. Whatever grudges you're holding, whatever old hurts you're nursing, whatever pride is keeping you from reconciliation, let it go. Life is too short and relationships are too precious to waste on stubbornness. This doesn't mean you have to accept abuse or mistreatment. It means you release the emotional weight of old wounds so you can move forward freely. It means you choose peace over being right. It means you prioritize love over ego. Now let me talk about something that might surprise you. People who age well have learned the art of simplicity. In a world that constantly tells you to want more, acquire more, achieve more, the elders have discovered that less is actually more. They've spent decades accumulating things only to realize that those things don't bring happiness. In fact, they often bring burden. Think about your home right now. How much of what you own do you actually use or love? How much is just clutter? Stuff you've accumulated out of habit or obligation, or the belief that more is better? The truth is that simplicity creates space. Space in your home, space in your schedule, space in your mind, space in your heart. And in that space, peace grows. Start simplifying now. Clear out what you don't need. Stop buying things to fill emotional voids. Choose experiences over possessions. Invest in memories, not merchandise. Focus on what truly enhances your life and let go of everything else. You'll be amazed at how liberating this feels. This leads naturally to another profound lesson: the art of letting go. As we age, we're forced to let go of many things. Physical abilities decline, roles change, people we love pass away, the life we built transforms into something different. And here's what the wise ones know: fighting this process brings suffering, accepting it brings freedom. This doesn't mean you give up or stop trying, it means you adapt. It means you find new ways to experience joy. It means you focus on what you can control and release what you cannot. It means you make peace with change instead of resisting it at every turn. You can practice this right now. What are you holding on to that no longer serves you? What past version of yourself are you clinging to? What expectations are you carrying that need to be released? What control are you trying to maintain that's actually causing you stress? Let it go. Not because you're weak, but because you're wise enough to know that flexibility is strength. And here's something beautiful that happens when you practice letting go. You become more grateful. Gratitude is like a superpower that people discover as they age. When you've lived long enough to experience both joy and sorrow, health and illness, connection and loss, you develop a deep appreciation for the good things in life. Grateful people are happier. This isn't just philosophy, it's neuroscience. Gratitude literally rewires your brain, reducing anxiety and depression while increasing overall life satisfaction. The elders know this intuitively. They've learned to find beauty in ordinary moments. A warm cup of coffee, sunshine through the window, a conversation with a friend, the ability to take a walk. These aren't small things. They're everything. Start a gratitude practice today. Every morning or every evening, think of 3 specific things you're grateful for. Not generic things, but specific moments or people or experiences. Write them down if that helps. Share them with someone you love. Train your brain to notice the good, because what you focus on expands. All of these lessons, all of this wisdom, everything I've shared today, it all comes down to one fundamental truth. Love is what matters. Love is the answer. Love is the legacy. When people look back on their lives, when they take stock of 8 decades of living, the measure of a life well lived is always love. How much love they gave, how much love they received, how much love they spread into the world. Not how much money they made, not what awards they won, not what title they held or what car they drove. Love, in all its forms. Romantic love, familial love, friendship, compassion, kindness, service to others. This is what endures. This is what matters. This is what makes a human life meaningful. So here's my challenge to you today. Don't wait until you're 80 to learn these lessons. Don't spend decades chasing things that won't matter in the end. Start now. Prioritize your health. Value your time. Nurture your relationships. Embrace simplicity. Practice letting go. Cultivate gratitude. Choose love in every moment you can. Aging is coming for all of us. That's not a threat. It's a promise. And you get to decide whether you arrive at that destination with regret or with grace. You get to choose whether you'll look back with sorrow for time wasted or with joy for a life well lived. The wisdom of the elders is available to you right now. You don't have to learn everything the hard way. If this message resonated with you today, I want you to do something important. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Maybe it's a friend who's caught up in the rat race. Maybe it's a family member who's forgotten what truly matters. Maybe it's someone who's facing their own mortality and needs perspective. Be the person who spreads this wisdom. And then, most importantly, go live it. Take one action today based on what you've learned here. Call someone you love. Go for a walk. Clear out a cluttered space. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Forgive someone. Choose love over fear. Just one action. That's how change begins. That's how you start living with the wisdom of age before age arrives. Thank you for being here, friends. Now go make your one precious life count.